Hey everyone, and welcome to another weekly check-in vlog where I try to keep on track with my life and reading goals, see what I'm doing on the weekend and reading. And in case you don't know, my name is Wiebke and this year I'm trying to get myself out of survival mode. And Saturday morning, look at me, I'm wearing running clothes again. Yes, I want to try running again. The cold has gone down, my back is feeling okay, so let's try and see how far I can go, or how long I last. I have about 1 hour left in the comfort crisis, so I hope to finish that. And honestly, I don't even know how this got onto my wish list. I have the assumption it was last year when I kept people talking about doing hard things. And that's what it's about, that we're all too comfortable, too cushy in our comfort zones and don't do difficult things anymore. And you get from it what you expect, like do more hard exercise, diet, be hungry, be bored, get off your screen times, do difficult things. And all of that is packed into an Alaskan hunting trip. So yeah, I'm not getting that much out of it. It's easy to listen to. Some of the things that he said about nutrition were interesting with the person he was talking to, whose name I forgot, of course. But overall, I don't really like it. So I hope to finish it on this run. And I'm back from my run, had a shower, breakfast, and I'm a little lost for plans. But anyways, as expected, I managed to finish The Comfort Crisis. And the thing I like from this book is that I learned the word comfort creep. Just like lifestyle creep. The comfort just crept in and now we're all stuck in there. Sort of like that, I imagine it. Anyways, the last part was a lot about rocking, like going for a walk with the heavy backpack and how beneficial that is to our health and longevity and everything. Yeah, mostly the book was really hitting home with like exercise and hard exercise, strenuous things are good for us and we're just too comfortable. It has a lot of data, so I make it sound a lot worse than it probably is, but I was just put off by these interludes of being in Alaska for weeks and hunting deer and the effects that had on his body. Yeah, I don't know. In general, I think it is a good idea. And I notice myself that giving into the comforts and thinking that being comfortable and convenient doesn't make things better. I noticed that making myself do more exercise and harder things and pushing myself a little bit more out of my comfort zone again is actually good for me. That doesn't mean I don't like my comfort zones and my comfy couch. Anyways, so what else did I read this week? Reading wasn't very good this week. I came down off the cold and had a lot of sleeping issues, like sleeping issues in the case of falling asleep on my couch and comatose-like. And so I slept a lot, which was nice, but I didn't read much. I'm still reading the fourth book of The Husky and His White Cat Shizun. And honestly, if they don't finally get their shit together and just do it, I'm going to go insane. This is, the misunderstandings are amping up. At the current moment, they're both just like, he's not interested in me. And just, I don't know. I hope by the end of this book that's settled and we can focus on other things. But I'm expecting more drama, more misunderstandings, and probably instead of them going together, going apart again. Who knows? I have a slight suspicion that because I'm not overly into this book and I wasn't overly into the comfort crisis, I wasn't feeling like reading as much as I might have if I enjoyed the books more. So I have no clue what I want to read this weekend, and I'm actually quite at a loss at what to do. I will have to spend some time with a friend who needs someone to talk to, and I'm happily doing that. But that will take away from reading time that I had planned for the weekend. So I'm thinking of starting a short story collection by Terry Pratchett that's been on my TBR for a while and see how that is going. Aside from reading, how was the week with my goals? I said I was coming off of my cold, so I do feel better. I did some small exercise and went to the gym again. I finally managed to go to this back class, like for back exercises. And I've been meaning to go to this class ever since I joined the gym, and it's the first time I went. It was very relaxing, easy, and I hope I can manage to go more often. It's very short, it's just 20 minutes. Another thing I did at the gym, because as I mentioned before, I joined the gym to do more classes, but I failed to do the classes or not enjoy them as much. So I've been doing a lot of this circuit training, which was nice, but it's getting a little bit dull and repetitive. So I had an appointment yesterday to get an introduction to something that they call a functional training area. It's a little bit like CrossFit area, and you can do exercise there, and I just didn't know what to do there. So the trainer gave me some ideas yesterday, and now I have to do some trial and error and kind of make my own workout plans, which I don't really enjoy. That's the best part about the circuit, is that I don't have to think. I can just go, follow the instructions, and just move from one machine to the next. And the same as classes. I don't really have to do the labor of putting it together. And I've done that when I worked for it, but when I do it for my leisure, I like to be told what to do. Yeah. So I started watching some fitness people, and now I binged some of Kelty something's videos, and now I want to do all the exercise. But on the other side, it's good because I do enjoy getting to be more comfortable at the gym and exercising there more. So the next goal for the next few weeks is to try and work out once a week at the circuit, once a week at the functional training area to do some different exercises, and once a week I try to go to a class. That would be 3 times at the gym, and let's see how that is working. I did notice something strange. After I was sick, I had like a few days of complete rest, so I was feeling a lot more relaxed and rested. And I have also been sleeping more in recent weeks, so I'm feeling more energy again. And it might also be connected to it being a very springy day today. It's very sunny, and it's been all sunny and warm all week. So that could also be a connection to that. But I don't feel worn out every morning when I wake up. I don't feel sleep deprived as much as I used to. So whatever I'm doing, it's working. And that's good. Now, I don't always know what to do with this energy. That's the fun part about it, because I'm a little bit lost in my brain. My brain did not shut up all week. It was constantly nagging and chatting and whatever, and going through ideas that I don't follow up on, going through memories that I wish I wouldn't have to remember, and making plans or rehashing things. So that is something that is pretty annoying, because I can't focus and study Korean, for example, which I didn't do at all this week. After saying on Sunday that I wanted to focus on this, I thought on Monday maybe I just need to take a break if I don't really make time for it. And then it automatically happened because I was working early every morning. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to do with the Korean. I have a few months left on the current plan for the program that I'm using, but I'm really not sure. I do want a few other things that I want to prioritize right now or want to look into, where I'd rather see my brain space used. And I am hoping that next week I will find some energy and ideas of doing things after work again, instead of just making food and dropping on my couch when I get home. But I'm not sure about that. Another thing I started on is the decluttering process on my books. Well, started is a little bit exaggerated. I started putting or leaving some of my YA series that I don't really care about that much for keeping outside for people to take away. And so far it didn't go bad. We don't really have a free library outside the door, but in my part of town, if you leave something on top of your trash can, it's free to take. So, and it doesn't lie on the ground and the dogs can pee on it, or it just stays clean. So that's what I've been doing with a lot of things that I donate. I just donate them to the neighborhood, and most of them disappear. And the things that don't disappear in a few days, I usually throw away because that means nobody actually wants it. And since I'm living in an area with a lot of students, people who don't have money and need a lot of stuff, that always is a good indicator. If people don't take it for free, no one will pay for it. So I don't have to give it anywhere. With the books, there is a little thing where I have to be wary of if it's interesting things. I have a few finished and full YA series which are pretty popular, so I'm pretty sure if I put them out there that they will disappear. But the more obscure books I have, I wouldn't put outside for people to take because no one will know them. There I need to look into donating them to a secondhand store or things like that. Maybe I'll do some of that this weekend. I should do my windows as well. The sun is shining through, but window cleaning, not the fun part that you want to do, right? Oh well, let's see. I'm going to drink some more tea and see what happens later on. Maybe some reading, and this afternoon probably meeting my friend. Let's ignore what I said before. We're going to pick the most pretentious book in my TBR to go and read in a coffee shop, because I don't feel like reading anything. So it doesn't matter what I start. I probably either won't enjoy it or it'll get me out of this slump. The afternoon turned out to be really nice. I made the right choice choosing Blackout to read at the cafe. I spent about 1 or 2 hours reading there, and I really got sucked into the story. Well, there's not much story yet. It's more an introduction. I think I read about 30 pages. My mind kept drifting off, and I had to reread almost every other sentence and paragraph, but that's more on me than on the book. The part that I've read now introduces us to a unnamed narrator. As far I didn't see that the person has a name, and someone who appears to be dying. So we find that our narrator went to some place that they call the palace, where the other person, this Kwan, is at the end of their life. And Kwan wanted the narrator to come to tell some kind of story of the family or something, but at the moment nothing happened. The narrator keeps asking, tell me what I'm supposed to do, tell me about the photographs and books that you have here that I'm supposed to do something with. But first, Kwan wants to hear the story of the narrator. So we learned so far how they met and why the narrator has nowhere to go right now because he caused kind of a mess at his apartment. So I think that he had to leave. The bubbling that you can hear in the background, by the way, is me cooking some dinner, because the rest of the afternoon I spent outside with my friend and her kids at a playground. But I had a really nice day, first on my own, reading and with some nice cake and coffee, and then with my friend. Now I'm getting ready to have some just pasta with some tomato sauce and a lot of me time on my couch watching. I started a new show. I started actually 2 new shows. One is Potato Lab. There's only 2 episodes out yet that I've watched, and I think today is another new episode coming. And then I started an old show that I haven't seen before, The Girl Who Can See Smells or something like that. And that was very fun. Started that yesterday. So I'm hoping to continue that and turn up the voices in my head a little bit. Let's see how tomorrow goes, and if I can find some time for the audiobook that I downloaded. I'm going to tell you about the audiobook once I started reading it. I don't want to make any assumptions of me starting an audiobook tomorrow. Sunday morning was relaxing. I did some cleaning, had breakfast, and then I got a headache staring at my computer. So I shut it down and went outside for a walk. Started listening to The Last Dragon of the East, and boy, was that a good decision. I'm really enjoying this. It's really fast-paced. It's not dilly-dallying with unnecessary waffle. And we're following a young man who's a thread seeker, so we can see the red thread of fate that is tied around your finger and connects you to your fated one, to your loved one, people. But the country is at war and his mother is sick, so needs medicine. He finds medicine that's really helpful, but it's a dragon scale that unfortunately the emperor is tracking. So he finds him and forces him to go find the dragon, because the emperor wants the dragon. And so that's what he's doing just now. He's been enlisted into the army and has to go to the south to find the dragon. Just a quick update on Blackouts. I read a few more pages. I'm about 50 pages in now. The story is still that we find out how Kwan and the narrator met. Apparently when the narrator was 17 and Kwan, we don't know, old, in an asylum where they were both apparently frequent customers. And currently the narrator is telling Juan and us the story of what he remembers and how he was back then and his life and their meeting. The narration is switching between narration and conversation. We also have sometimes very short paragraphs or just a few sentences. Sometimes the paragraphs or the text is more than a page long. And in between all of that, we get blackout texts and photographs, which I assume are part of the material that Juan wants him to catalog, do something with. I don't really know. So, but we know that there are books where a lot of the information has been blacked out and turned into new text, poems, or whatever. And as far as I remember or understood so far, these books are on homosexuality, and I don't know if it's a nonfiction study or from what time it is. So far, I don't really know. Maybe I missed it or it wasn't mentioned yet. But so far, I'm really enjoying the book. It's really good to read, even though I really struggle with focus and my brain just keeps having a conversation in the back of my mind when I'm trying to read. So I really have to skip back and read things over and over again, but I am enjoying the text, so I don't mind. So good decision on reading. I don't think I'm going to pick it up again today because right now it's 3 p.m. and I'm going to a Zumba class and I need some sauna and I'm already falling asleep a little bit. Oopsie. Let's see how much I can listen to The Last Dragon of the East when I'm going to the gym and coming back, and maybe I can even read some or the last 60 pages of The Husky and His White Cat Shizun. I'll update you later. Monday morning, I completely forgot to end the vlog yesterday. I managed to listen to a little bit more of The Last Dragon of the East. I'm really enjoying this. The next events are, I find, somewhat spoilery, even though you could guess them. But I really don't know how things continue because, of course, I didn't read any synopses, but I am curious about what will happen next and really enjoying the audiobook and the fast-pacedness of the story. I did not manage to finish The Husky and His White Cat Shizun, but I have 2 chapters left, about 30 pages, but I kept falling asleep last night, so that was better. And I don't think they're going to manage to actually get their shit together and talk. They've both decided that they like the other, but they don't tell them directly. And every time they tell each other indirectly, the other doesn't hear due to circumstances and things. And most of the book was repetition, making it very clear that the master doesn't think he deserves love. He's not anyway experienced and doesn't think that anyone could like him and think he's good looking. So, major insecurities. The disciple thinks I've been so mean and bad to this person in my past life. I really just want to respect him and really would love to have him in my life, but I'm going to be the respectable disciple instead of the lover. Yeah. The fantasy part at the end, something picked up again and we're back into, I think, the mystery part of it, but who knows. Nothing much happened in this book. Honestly, it could have used some editing and stripping out all the repetitions. What else did I do? Nothing much, because my Chromecast broke and I was annoyed with technology and then I fell asleep after dinner. Anyways, that was my weekend. Let me know how your weekend was. Did you read something nice? Did you do something nice? Tell me in comments, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.